confirmed by William I in 1067. And now, 1,000 years later, we still have those arrangements in place. Alderman David Wootton is the 684th Lord Mayor, and today he's also the ambassador for the financial services industry nationally across the UK. David took office in November 2011. He was educated at Bradford Grammar School and Jesus College, Cambridge, reading classics and law before joining the law firm of Allen and Overy, where he's a partner. He's a committee member of the City of London Law Society and the chairman of the City of London branch of Institute of Directors, as well as being the Lord Mayor of the City of London. I'm delighted to give you today our Speaker, David Wootton, Alderman David Wootton.
Thank you very much, Steve, for that very kind introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, it's very nice to be here. Thank you to everyone at the British Chamber for making me so welcome, and a very special thank you to Barclays, Jeff and Richard, for sponsoring today's lunch. What you see before you is indeed the 684th manifestation of a long line of Lord Mayors. The office has a long line of history behind it, but today is in a very modern form. The City of London, the part of London that would best be described as our central business district, is the centre of financial services activity, but that has overspilled the borders to other parts of London, other parts of the UK, and that sees me spending a large proportion of my year in office, travelling to most parts of the world, promoting UK business with particular emphasis on UK financial services. And of course, London has always taken a very global view of the world, so we're in a way just as keen to promote financial services businesses in other parts of the world, because if they are doing well, it's highly likely that London will do well also. Our Foreign Secretary, William Hague, used his recent visit to Singapore to make a major speech in which he paid tribute to the strength of Singapore's relationship with the UK. He said that Singapore was a country I have long admired as a beacon of free trade and economic openness, a model of constructive foreign policy and an old and valued friend to the United Kingdom. I agree with that, and I'm seeing the strength of that relationship in the meetings and discussions that I'm having during my visit here. The City of London remains a crucial part of the UK economy in a special year for the UK, the year of the Diamond Jubilee and the Olympic Games, the bid for which we of course won in this city. And I look forward during both the Diamond Jubilee and Olympics to welcoming our commercial and political partners to the City of London. And those events also provide us with a great opportunity to highlight British industry and the City of London. As Steve mentioned, I'm by professional background a lawyer, a partner in a firm which has a large and successful office in Singapore. And although I have spent my professional career on corporate things, mergers and acquisitions, IPOs, joint ventures, that kind of thing, I'm in a way a representative of London's legal services market, which appears globally in cities like Singapore, where firms like mine and many others from other countries provide all the services of a global law firm operating from a global financial centre. The City of London remains the world's preeminent financial centre. The recent Global Financial Centres Index ranked the City of London first, and first with an improved rating, still ahead of New York. It remains vital for the prosperity of the United Kingdom. As a whole, our financial services sector is a key generator of revenue for the public finances. Even as we continue to grapple with the effects of the European sovereign debt crisis, the City contributed around £63 billion sterling in United Kingdom taxes in 2010-11, around 12% of the national total, and an increase of 18% on the previous year, and a trade surplus for the UK of £45 billion sterling. It's also a major provider of employment. About 300,000 people work in the geographic area known as the City of London, but around 1.7 million people have jobs in financial and professional services around the UK as a whole. The City also remains a financial centre with a truly global reach and attractiveness. We continue to host around 250 non-UK banks, more than in any other country, with foreign banks managing nearly half of UK banking assets, totaling over £8 trillion sterling at the end of 2011. More than 200 non-UK law firms practicing there, around 1,400 foreign-owned companies operating in the UK licensed by our securities regulator, the Financial Services Authority, and we continue to see around a fifth of world cross-border bank lending in the UK, and a dominant and growing share of world foreign exchange trading takes place in London. And we are the largest exporter of financial services in the world, more than double that of our next competitors. Moreover, we continue to provide the full range of services of a global financial centre. We are the home for the world's largest international insurance market, centred around Lloyd's. We continue to offer the most comprehensive range of specialist maritime and shipping services in the world, with a 20% share in maritime insurance alone, and we offer the whole range of professional services, including legal services, an integral part of our offer to global businesses. Within the last few months, we have opened the largest specialist and high-tech centre for the resolution of financial, business and property disputes in the world at Royals Building, an investment in our future as a centre for international law and as a centre for international business, and bringing together the largest concentration in the world of judicial expertise in business matters, commercial, technology, construction, maritime, as well as the Chancery Division. And along with all that, we continue to seize the opportunities presented by new markets and new products. We're the leading Western centre for Islamic finance, as is entirely right for a nation with a Muslim population of 2 million. And only this month, we announced a new partnership with Hong Kong to establish London as an offshore centre for trading in the Chinese renminbi. A great competitive offer, but it's an offer founded on the quality and the cluster of services and people of talent in the city. We have adapted to the financial crisis in how we manage and forecast risk, in the way in which we monitor and guarantee compliance, and in how we see our role. Success is built, yes, on balance sheets, but balance sheets tell a story of hard work, jobs and growth, all supported by the cluster of services we provide. So the city is preeminent not just because of the size of its markets, just because of the depth and the range of services we provide, but because of the usefulness of those markets and those services. Those markets and services are not an end in themselves, but are best deployed in the service of the wider national and international economies in the creation of prosperity, jobs and growth. This has been my own theme over the past few months. It's the theme of UK government ministers, and it has been the theme of the G8 and in the European Union this week. The argument domestically in the UK that Britain's economy should rebalance, implying that the city and financial services at one end of the seesaw must move down for other sectors to move up, has been left behind. There is a common realisation that we must diversify our economy so that we grow all sectors. We cannot create jobs and we cannot create growth in the wider economy without finance and without capital, without the service, the expertise and the people of the City of London. This is a common message for the Lord Mayor, for businessmen and for politicians alike. We work closely with our UK government, which is fully seized of the city's importance as a global financial centre, but also its importance domestically. We will have new and clear regulatory structures. The Financial Services Bill is before the UK Parliament to give the Bank of England the responsibility and the tools to monitor and respond to the demands of the new financial system as a whole, and to establish new prudential and financial conduct authorities to act against irresponsible risk-taking and to promote confidence and transparency for business. Vital anchors for a stable and predictable world for business and finance. And we also have a clear and stable way forward on the UK banking sector, with the government shortly bringing forward legislation to separate out retail and investment banking. I'm an optimist, ladies and gentlemen, by nature, and my overseas business missions have only increased my optimism about our prospects. I recently returned from Canada, Australia and New Zealand, all countries with historic ties to the UK, but all countries where we are building up our modern business partnerships, and all countries where there are fantastic opportunities for two-way investment. So we're welcoming Canadian investment into our 200 billion sterling national infrastructure plan, and Chinese investment in our water supply. Investors continue to invest in the UK because they know they will realise a good return in a stable and predictable environment for business. My visit to Singapore is particularly important because Singapore is so important to the city and the UK, as our Foreign Secretary himself said. This afternoon, I will be meeting the Minister of State for Finance and the Managing Director of the Monetary Authority. And that follows a meeting this morning with the Attorney General and yesterday with the SGX. Each call, each meeting, just as this lunch does, gives me the chance to reaffirm the strength of the city, the UK, and our partnership with Singapore. The UK is a major investor here, just as Singapore is in the United Kingdom. More than 700 British businesses are active here, and our government is very keen on promoting the relationship at official level, most recently with the Economic and Business Partnership signed late last year. In the City of London and the UK, we want Singapore to see us as partner of choice. So I'm here to find ways of increasing our bilateral trade and looking at ways in which we can overcome any obstacles. Both the city and Singapore are known throughout the world as great financial centres, providing services to business of the very highest quality. It will be a sign of the maturity, of the strength of the Singapore markets, for example, should the Formula One IPO take place here. For me, more business across the world means a bigger global market, and that's good for us all. That's why we welcome the development of financial centres across the world. We are working closely, for example, with our partners in Moscow and Istanbul to develop their own capacities as financial centres. Why would we do that, which might appear to be aiding the development of competitors? The answer is that if other financial centres that are complementary to us become stronger, there will be more business all round. The greater the volume of international trade, the greater the opportunities for business for us all, and the greater the prosperity for our peoples. Not to say that I underestimate the challenges. The continuing uncertainty in the Eurozone does nothing to create the stability, predictability and clarity that business demands. All EU countries have a degree of exposure to the sovereign debt crisis. We in the UK are wholly committed to a vibrant European single market and wholly committed to playing a part in resolving the crisis in the Eurozone. It's in Europe's interest that we do, and it's in the UK's interests that we do, with the Eurozone our largest export market, and Europe being, we tend to forget, a huge market of 500 million consumers. We are not in the UK, of course, in the Eurozone, which gives us great flexibility. We have our own currency and our own central bank with responsibility for monetary and financial stability. But we will continue to work with our European partners to resolve the underlying structural issues, but also to find the right balance between regulation to protect consumers, investors and markets, and regulation that will stifle enterprise, innovation and business. So we in the City of the UK remain resilient and strong. We offer stability, security and a wealth of opportunity. It's something I see for myself every day as Lord Mayor. The UK remains one of the world's leading manufacturing nations. We are still the world's 6th largest manufacturing economy by value, full of high quality niche businesses offering products and services prized the world over. Right across the UK, I've seen thriving companies and companies recording their best ever export figures. Ladies and gentlemen, these are without doubt challenging times, but I'm optimistic because of the scale and the wealth of the opportunities I see. Today, we in the City of the UK as a whole are looking east as never before, setting ourselves firmly on the path to far closer ties with Asia. And the markets of London and Singapore are in many respects complementary. I'm delighted by this new focus. I'm delighted by the possibilities I see in Singapore, and I hope that the City of London, the UK, and our partners in Singapore can work together to seize them. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for listening, and I would be delighted to take any questions you may have. Thank you very much.